All right, everybody, welcome to Bestcoastpodcast. I'm your host, JJ. This is your other host, Zach here. Week 5 of the NFL season finally begins, and it's already Thursday night football is looking like a great show. Showing 17-14, Tampa Bay over Atlanta, going into, I don't know, someone's injured, so I don't know the time on the clock, but Tariq Smith looks like he's injured. Hopefully he's all right. But what a great week for sports. Honestly, we are getting into the prime of sports season here. Hockey's about to start. Is in the playoffs. Basketball's about to start. Football's on its prime. Like, all these good games are starting to show up now. It's not garbage games anymore.
College football's got a lot of really good matchups, and especially with the expanded playoffs this year.
Dude, I'm so excited for that.
I feel like it's going to be great just for the sport in general. Like, I feel like so many good teams get left out of the playoffs just because there wasn't enough. Could they have gone to 8 before they went to 12? Sure, but I like how the NCAA said, "Hey,
they're like, fuck it, let's get 12.
Let's go big." So
yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Well, you have to with college. There's too many divisions and too many teams. Every city's got a college. You know,
well, every city's got a college, but you also look. I mean, how many one-loss teams were playing in like the Tampax, PBR Bowl, when really, because of that one loss, they should have been playing, for a shot at a natty or something like that. So
right.
This is if you're into sports and that's your jam, this is 100% like a great time of year. Where I live, it's starting to get cold. Sorry, California people who have been roasting for the last week.
Yeah,
it's the perfect time. It's perfect. It's bulking season. Sit around, eat some stew, lift some weights, listen to some Led Zeppelin and watch sports. That's what they do out here. It's why offensive linemen come from this part of the country.
Dude, I was about to make some bomb ash like jambalaya and shit, and I was like, nah, fuck that shit. It's too fucking hot. Like, because it was cool. It was cool the weeks before, right? And I was like, cool. I put up my fans. I put up my room AC. And I was like, all right, cool. I don't need it anymore. Then, boom, 110-degree heat here, man. I'm just fucking dying yesterday.
Fucking ridiculous, dude.
Of course, I'm too hot and lazy to go fucking bust out the AC, right?
Yeah, you're lay there and suffer with it. If I just fall asleep, I won't be hot. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's only for a few days. It's going to drop down again. Where I live, it rarely breaks 100. So what it does, though, it's miserable. So I gotta be prepared, but I never am.
Yeah, a Boy Scout you are not.
No, I'm not. I've always been flying to by my pants.
Yeah. So
look, I'm great at survival at the last second. All right.
I mean, yeah, we're roaches, James. We're roaches, dude. That's how that works. Quick MLB update as we are watching the last game of the playoffs here, of the wild card round. Brewers went back-to-back in the 7th inning, currently up 2-0 on the Mets, middle of the 8th right now. So I'm pulling for the Brewers, small market team. Milwaukee's just that way.
Wait, what was the score?
2-0 Brewers.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And it's bottom of the 7th, you said?
Middle of the 8th.
Middle of the 8th.
Yeah,
fuck yeah. Let's go.
They're a bullpen game. Yeah, they hit 2 monster back-to-back shots that really, that place must have been electrified. So, yeah, cool.
Because I forgot, baseball does the 2 home and then the 3rds away.
No, not in the wild card round. All 3 games are in one stadium. They play them so quickly. They hammer it out.
Okay.
They play 3 games in 5 days.
Damn, dude, that's brutal.
Dude,
it's baseball, so it's not as brutal unless you're a pitcher.
I mean, everybody at this point of the year is sore, and everyone's got aches. Every playoffs are the same for every team. Everyone's nicked up. People are hurt. There's always stuff going on. I personally like the 1-game wild card elimination because just a win. Come on, there's nothing really better than a win or go home game. Be it a game 7 or the NFL playoffs or stuff like that. I love the 1-game playoff.
But after 182 games, doing a 1-game wild card round is so brutal.
Hey, dude,
162.
Hey, you're in the playoffs. You got there. You got a chance. All you got to do is win a game. You won a bunch of games to get here. Just win a game, right? It shouldn't be that hard.
Right. I don't know. I like the 3. I don't think there should be any more than 3. If it was like the 5 game, I'd been upset that they did 5. 3's perfect. You get 1 bad game, and then you get 2 games to make it up. right?
Yeah. Well, they've done a good job of baseball managed not to fuck this one up somehow, of making these 3 games like really compelling television, and the teams that are waiting for all of them are like really. I mean, it's the Yankees, Phillies, Padres, or the Dodgers, and who else am I missing here? Phillies and Padres, Yankees, and Cleveland, the Guardians.
Yeah, the Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's like 3 small market AL Central teams are in the playoffs against like these billion-dollar big teams. It's great. It's awesome. So I'm excited about that. Also, from a Bay Area point of view, the Giants made a long overdue move of firing Farhan Zaidi, their GM, VP of Baseball Ops, and giving the job to Buster Posey. Which
really, I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, Buster Posey is like the new VP of like player ops, GM. It's the player personnel role in San Francisco.
Right.
And I mean, if there's a way to get the fan base to pay attention, that's a move. Now, is he any good? I mean, I have no problem with Buster Posey. I think the rule they made because he got his leg broken is kind of weak because you see it get abused by umpires and other players all the time. But
right.
Buster Posey was a gamer. Like, I got nothing.
Dude, I love Buster Posey. Like, I even though I'm not a Giants fan, I don't like the Giants at all. Right. I love Buster Posey.
Dude,
Buster Posey, he was up to bat. I'm here watching.
You got to respect Buster Posey and the way he played the game. And again, he won MVPs, batting titles, comeback player of the year, silver sluggers, golden gloves. A fistful of World Series rings. Like,
exactly.
You can't. I've heard some people say because he retired somewhat early that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. You look at Buster Posey's body of work, that's a Hall of Fame resume.
Yeah, yes. And me, my stance on the Hall of Fame, people like only like dedicated athletes should go in there. Not everybody should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, here's a guy who broke his body putting together a Hall of Fame resume. That's why he retired. He's body doesn't. Like, my body's fucked up. Like, yeah.
Yeah. He threw his body online night in and night out.
Well, and I'm sorry again. It's Rookie of the Year, MVP, 3 World Series rings. Caught a guy who won 2 Cy Youngs. I mean, you got to think about it. Lincecum doesn't win those Cy Youngs without Buster catching.
No.
Maybe he gets 1, but when you've got an ace like that back there calling, yeah. So
it helps.
The Giants have some pieces. They do have some pieces on that roster. They got some young guys. They signed Matt Chapman. Bob Melvin is a good manager. Curious to see if Buster can get them back into contention in what really is like a pretty talented National League West. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, they did finish 9 games out of the playoffs.
9 games out. They finished like 80 and 82 or something. Like they finished with the league record.
About that. Yeah, 80 and 82.
And the worst thing about the Giants,
they got there.
They didn't play like you didn't see them playing inspired baseball a lot. Like they looked like they were going through the motions out there. Like, and the team across the bay, the former residents of Oakland, they I mean, maybe because they were just a young bunch of dudes, like, fuck it, like I've got to play in the major league, let's go, They felt like
they're playing in a AAA stadium.
Well, they're not playing right now. They're playing in like the Arizona Fall League, or a lot of those guys go to like Republic or Venezuela and play in winter ball down there.
Exactly.
Dudes play year round, but yeah. So again, it all starts from the top. I think as a former player. Let's look at the Niners as an example. John Lynch coming in and do a highly respected guy around the league into a role like that, and you see how he relates to the players. And I
imagine the Giants, the same thing.
Exactly, and I imagine the Giants are hoping for that, and I would not be at all surprised if you did go out there and lay it on the line for Buster. Because again, here's a guy who's going to come limping into the fucking clubhouse to ask you guys why you aren't fucking winning. You got an excuse? Probably not. Like, let's go.
That guy lives and breathes baseball. That's his sport. That's what he does every day. Probably annoys his wife, his kids, his grandparents, his mom, his dad, because all it is baseball.
Well, probably glad that he's got. Baseball. I mean, he had been doing he had some like minor role with the Giants, like consultant or something like that. But obviously, he was probably doing more behind the scenes than people thought. People knew for him to move into this one here. So. Right. Yeah, baseball news there. Looks like the Brewers are going to hang on. Next week we'll talk about how much we all hate the Yankees.
I'm waiting to see what Ohtani does in these playoffs now that he doesn't have to try to win every game. So I was listening to something about it, like Ohtani's new way he bats this year versus he was with the Angels. He says he had to change his game up completely. He's a lot more relaxed out there. He's ready just to make hits if he has to, not just try to fucking kill the ball every time he's out the plate.
Right. I heard read the same thing.
And he might, if the Dodgers make a deep enough run in the playoffs, you might see him pitch.
There's no reason to. You don't need him to pitch. This is his second Tommy John surgery. There's no reason to rush it back, dude.
But it's not the coaches, it's Ohtani. Ohtani wants to pitch.
That's fine. They're not going to run him out there. The amount of money they owe him over time is called return on investment, James. You can't, it's like,
I don't know.
If he blows out his elbow next year pitching as designed, then hey, that's one thing. But to rush him back, yeah, like he hasn't even thrown a bullpen yet. He's just doing long toss.
No, he's been doing the bullpen. He's been throwing hard in the bullpen. He's been over 50% in the bullpen. He's like 75% in the bullpen.
Maybe he hasn't faced live hitters yet, or something like that.
Right. That's what they're most worried about. Is like he's throwing hard in the bullpen, but they're more worried throwing him out there against live hitters because it's such a different experience, and they watch every detail of your pitch, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't see Ohtani pitching in the postseason. What I do think we're going to see is Ohtani have one of those postseasons people talk about for fucking years. I think he's about to go absolutely off the fucking rails. And
right.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're going to get all their starters back. What's his face was injured for the last couple weeks.
Freddie Freeman hurt his ankle in the one of the last games, but they say he should all the stuff that Ohtani's done and all the stuff around this team this year and them signing, Yoshinobu from Japan, and then he misses 3 months.
Yeah.
All of this is for naught if they don't win. If they don't win the World Series. And I mean, San Diego played absolutely bonkers in that first round, But granted, that was against an Atlanta team that is missing the reigning MVP and the reigning Cy Young Award winner. The fact they got in is impressive. Good job, Atlanta. Exactly. You guys weren't going to go anywhere. So, hey.
No. No, but hey, they got in. They gave it their shot. They almost won the second game, they almost won the second game. It came down to the later innings, I thought.
Yeah, they made the second game a lot more competitive than the first one they got. They were shell-shocked.
Right. So we'll see the Dodgers, LA fucking versus the Padres is going to be one hell of a way to kick off the fucking divisional round.
That's going to be good. I could see a lot of people wanting the Mets to win for a New York Philly matchup, but
right. That would be good because it's going to be Yankees Royals right now. Yeah. No, I think the Brewers. I hope the Brewers come in and win that shit, man. I really do. Yeah. I hope they keep it. They keep it up.
I would love to see the Brewers upset Philly. That would be pretty cool. But there's a lot. That Philly team is pretty loaded. They got a lot of dudes who are real good at baseball, all the time. So,
all right. So since we're pretty sure the Brewers are going to win here, let's kind of break down the postseason picture here a little bit. So we got the Detroit Tigers, which I love that they came in and fucking swept Houston, beat the fuck out of them.
The only solace that I can have in this postseason as an A's fan is suck it, Houston. Thank God you guys are out. Yeah, it's everybody still remember nobody likes you because you guys cheat.
Exactly.
No one's forgotten.
So they go against Cleveland, which is going to be a real tough matchup. Cleveland's got the hot bats, but Tigers are there. So this one's best of 5, right?
This one's best of 5.
Or is it best of 7?
And also remember is that Cleveland and Detroit are in the same. They're both in the AL Central. They played each other 18 times already this year. So these are two teams that know each other so well. It's a great matchup. It's so good.
Who comes out and how many games?
We're
not prepared for this, guys. I just came up with this on the fly of my head.
Right. So here's how I look at it. The Tigers are the team nobody wants to play right now. They're absolutely playing. They're on fire. They're that team. Right. We've all seen teams come into the postseason with momentum and just steamroll through teams that normally they wouldn't have a chance of beating. The other side of it is that Stephen Vogt in his first year as coaching the Guardians, and Jose Ramirez, who I think is one of the most underrated and not talked about players in Major League Baseball. The guy, hits 300 or 30 home runs every year playing third base for Cleveland, and no one talks about him. He's the guy that, okay, you know how you're going to know who he is?
I didn't
He's
know
the
that.
guy that knocked out Tim Anderson in that fight
Oh, really?
at second base against the White Sox. He's the dude that knocked him out. The guy does it all.
Okay.
He does it all. Like,
right.
That's the MVP of your team. So I'm going to say Cleveland in 5. I say it goes the distance.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking Cleveland in 5 as I was sitting here thinking. I was like, man, Detroit's going to, I know they're hot, but I don't think they can beat. The Cleveland just got so much more firepower, so much better pitching going for them that
it's almost like it's a disadvantage. So here's the main disadvantage: is Detroit has one starting pitcher, the guy who's going to win the Cy Young. His name's Tariq Subal. He won the pitching triple crown, led the league in strikeouts, wins, and ERA.
Okay.
So behind him, it's literally like a committee of chaos. Like just
right.
They literally do not have another starting pitcher, dude. It's crazy. So they're going out there and just winning games, just all like, we figured it out, which is fantastic. I think it's great.
All right, next up we got Kansas City Royals versus the New York Yankees. So the 5 versus the 1 seed there. That was another surprise one that they upset the Royals. No, Baltimore. Baltimore,
Orioles.
what's their name? Orioles. I wanted to call them the Oilers for some reason, like the Houston Oilers.
Right.
Right. So that was another surprising. I thought they were going to go a little bit better than that, but to lose in 2 games like that, damn.
Yeah, Baltimore is a team that I thought was going to, win some playoff games this year, and they've lost. They've been in the playoffs both years, last 2 seasons, and haven't won a game.
Right.
They were out in 5, 2 and 3. So. The Royals, again, here's a good young team with a veteran presence. Salvador Perez, still their catcher. He was their catcher in 2015 when they won. 10 years later, he's back in the postseason. Dude is crazy,
Right.
Yeah, that's nuts to me, especially for a catcher.
Is that the guy who played on 2 different teams this year in one game?
No.
Because they had to have
No, that guy's, because he got traded, they had to do a makeup. No, that dude plays for the Blue Jays, is now on the Red Sox, or vice versa.
Oh, was it Blue Jays? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was the Royals for some reason. Okay.
No, I mean, I'm thinking blue, the Royals and
right.
Blue Jays. But I think the Yankees finished down the stretch pretty strong. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge you have to face those 2 motherfuckers back to back. It's crazy. That is absolutely
honestly,
nuts.
I'm taking Yankees in 3. So
yeah, I think Yankees in 3 is probably a good bet on that. The Yankees are very similar to a situation as the Dodgers, where it's all of this is for nothing if you don't win. Heads are going to roll, if you don't get us a World Series.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we're going to say Brewers versus the Phillies.
Yeah. I'm going to say Phillies. I'm going to say Phillies in 3 in that one. Phillies are just too talented of a team.
Okay, I was going to go with Phillies in 5, honestly. I thought that was another game that the Brewers are just hot right now, and they got just that momentum going with them. So
they do. I just feel like they have too many holes in their lineup besides their big guys, where the Yankees are pretty deep.
Right.
1 through 9. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The Brewers are playing who?
Phillies.
I'm sorry. The Phillies are too deep 1 through 9, and plus having to go as raucous as the Milwaukee crowd is.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go play postseason baseball in Philly. Yeah, it's
going to be nuts.
The first 4 weeks of the baseball season were Philly baseball fans training for this. So
right.
Good luck. And I get it. Milwaukee likes to party. Milwaukee gets down. Milwaukee's down with they're down with the shit, as the kids would say. But
right.
I just feel like Philly's got too much to bring. Philly in 3.
Okay. Next up, I think is probably the game of the first division here is going to be Dodgers versus Padres versus the Dodgers. Yeah. I mean, San Diego is 2 Southern California teams battling out 2 hours away from their stadium without traffic.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And they played each other 20 plus times already. You know,
something like that. Yeah,
they hate each other's guts.
Yeah, they don't like each other. The fans don't like each other. They play each other a lot, all the time, for years, for forever. So yeah, there's no love lost. San Diego looked great in the first round, playing against a Braves team that was not
barely there.
Yeah, not really everybody was there, with about half their starters gone for the year. So
right.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for them. But again, the Dodgers. I mean, what's Shohei going to do? You know, like
right.
I am the most excited about that. Like, I feel like Shohei is going to put on a show when the lights are brightest, and it's just going to be something to behold. Like the 3 home run game to make it to 50. You know,
right.
The dude.
I think he's excited to be on a team that's actually winning and's got a chance to win.
Yeah, and that's got to be terrifying as an opposing pitcher. Like, he's a relaxed hitting machine.
They had a few days off. He's had a few days off to relax, kind of stretch out his body. Sit there and study the Padres some more.
I'm going to need to look at, some of the prop bets out there, but how much money can I put on Shohei hitting a fucking 500-foot bomb in his first at bat? Like, I want to put money on that because I feel like he's going to hit a baseball very far, and he's going to hit it into the canyon. Like, that's just going to go all bit. So,
all right. So, who's going to win and how many games?
It's going 5, no doubt.
I was going to say Dodgers in 4.
Dodgers in 4? No.
I think they'll go 2, and then they'll get Padres will one at home and then 1 away, and then but the Dodgers will get the 3 faster in 4.
This is a really hard one to pick. I'm gonna go with Dodgers in 5 because of the Shohei Ohtani difference.
That's.
I feel
we're
like
on the same page. We think Dodgers are going for another to the next round.
Right, and as for Dodgers Phillies, I think it'll be Dodgers Phillies after that, and that. I mean, as much as I want to say the Shohei Ohtani effect, like Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos are known for plenty of postseason heroics of their own in Philadelphia. Some may even say that Philly has a better rotation. So
I can see that.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting.
We'll get more of that like in a week from now when we'll talk about that matchup, whatever matchup it is. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Sorry, I was already thinking about how much money I can make off Shohei in this postseason.
All right, so something next up, what we're supposed to start off with was hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey season's upon us. The Sharks are, me and this guy are dedicated Bleeding Tail Sharks fans. And we are both super excited to go see Max Calabrini, even though he got hurt, was it yesterday or the day before?
Macklin Calabrini.
What did I say? Max Calabrini?
It's Macklin Celebrini. We both got it wrong.
So Celebrini, though, he got hurt Tuesday.
Yes.
He went awkwardly into the boards. From what I hear, he's okay. He played a shift and then just didn't start the third, which is great news. Because, man, when you go to those boards awkwardly with pros around you piling on top of you, it's definitely going to hurt. Welcome to the big leagues, son. But from what I hear, he's ready for game 1. The Sharks did drop their 11th round pick to already declared him to go back down to the minor leagues. So that's a little concerning. But in hockey, it's not really concerning because usually if you're not the first top 5 players, you're not playing in the NHL. You're going down to the minor leagues. And that's the top 5 picks of the draft. And you're lucky 4 and 5 if you make it to the pros in the top 5. It's just they start them young. It's not like football where you're 24, 25 years old, 20 plus years old. These guys are 18, 17 years old. Celebrini just turned 18 like a few days before the draft. So the kid's not even 19 yet. He's going to be one of the youngest players in the NHL to ever start a game.
Yeah.
By days or months, whatever it is. So, yeah. For him to even start is going to be an amazing thing.
One of those cases, though, where I think it's okay to bring him up and put him in. Will Smith has a year of juniors underneath him. Yeah, I think that this is the move. Like, now, if he looks completely overwhelmed, out of place, which doesn't seem like that's going to be the case.
They won't move. Yeah.
Yeah, then you move him. But I think starting him in this situation is the the best move for the Sharks. The fan base, like we were talking earlier, has a little bit of juice. People are excited about it. That trade for that goaltender they got from Nashville, I know people don't like giving up the number 1 pick, but when you get like the top-ranked goalie prospect in hockey, hey, he's not going to come for cheap.
I'm excited. Let's go. Let's go, Nabokov. Train him fucking well.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I teach you my tricks. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Now, how many wins that translates to, who the hell knows? I just think
I saw a couple stats. Speaking of that, I saw a couple stats. They're already projected to go number 1 overall for the first draft pick, number 1 overall by most of the top-ranked sports leagues casters out there. So that tells you that. But who knows? You never know. It's a whole new season. It's not any given Sunday. It's any given Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in hockey. And who knows how?
It's a long season, and hockey playoffs are always weird. We see it every year. Weird, crazy shit happens. Oh, score update. Pete Alonso hit a 3-run home run. Mets are up 3-2, top of the 9th.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so we might have to change our picks here.
I mean,
damn.
I still think Philly beats the Mets. Like they were going to beat.
Right.
We'll
get back to that with the whatever the score is.
Yeah, we're going to get two regional matchups there possibly. But
I didn't even think about that. I forgot New York, Philly, same region, or same division.
Yes, right. So, but I mean, the Pacific is talented. The West is talented. There's a lot of real good teams out there. Out of the Sharks this year, I'm looking for just marked improvement across the board. Like they showed up, like not ready to play a bunch of times last year. I mean,
they're all over the place with passing.
That losing streak to start the season, guys not moving their feet out on the ice, like they looked really, really unprepared. I think Warfowski, having already coached a lot of these guys coming up through the Sharks organization, there's a sense of familiarity with it, and that's going to be a good thing for the young guys. I'm going to plead ignorance. I'm not sure who he's filled out his staff with, but I assume there's some veteran coaches and stuff. Still got Nabby there in goal as the goaltending coach. Mike Greer seems willing, I think, to make trades and to go and get guys to fill out the roster at this point.
Right.
And I think
he's not willing to overbuy like Wilson did towards the end, right? Trying to get a cup going. And I get what he did. He went out there and sold out the team to get whatever he could get a cup, right? Yeah. So it just sucks at the end there that it cost us such a massive rebuild.
It did. Like the Sharks painted themselves into a corner with draft picks and did money on the salary cap issues and stuff like that. But look, they did it. The Rams did it and had to suffer through like a shit salary cap situation for like 2 years, and now they're back. And the Sharks have come out the other side. Still,
they're after this year they'll be out the other side after this year.
Right.
So unless they all of a sudden they go and sign Devontae Adams, then they'll be in salary cap hell for another year.
Oh God, yeah, that would be a terrible move there.
I would love to see it though.
Yeah. I mean,
let's say hockey. Let's say hockey here. We'll talk about football here in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that there in a minute. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Just some marked improvement. Be competitive. Hell, be playing in some meaningful games towards the end. Be fighting for one of those beat like that 8th or 9th spot. Ruin some team seasons. Beat some playoff teams in that last week of the season and just fuck their business up. That's what I want to see out of the Sharks. That's what I like to see.
Like I'm gonna expect a slow start out of the Sharks because they're so young and they're not gonna understand the pros as much. Like they're getting a good taste of it in these preseason games and they're winning some games, but again, it's still preseason games and all the stars don't really go out there and play. They're warming up.
It was 0-12 was what they started the season last year, or was it worse than that?
It's something like that. It was horrible. It was horrible.
It was borderline record-setting horrible. That's not going to fly this year. I need a win. You got to win a game in the first couple. Like get one. You got to get one.
The first three. You got the first three. Yeah. So Calabrini, speaking of him,
Backlund
Celebrini, celebration, Mr. Celebrator. How about that? He's always played in the division up from his youth up. So I don't think this transition going from junior hockey to the pros is going to be that giant of a leap for him. So we'll see how he goes. So I do expect him to be going for a lot of points and beating Marlowe's record for the most points for a rookie
Yeah,
or whoever
sure.
owns it. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see how it goes. And then Will Smith too. I'm hoping he's sitting there competing for the most points. We got some talented goal scorers on this team. We just gotta get the puck moving and going. And as long as they don't come out flat-footed like they did last year, I think this is going to be a totally different Sharks team, and we're going to see some wins. And I'm hoping we're going to upset a lot of people and go out there and compete for playoffs. But we'll see. A lot of these sports announcers have been doing it a lot longer than me and you have been alive, and they know what they're saying for a reason. But who knows?
That's actually Pat Falloon has the San Jose Sharks rookie record for most points in this season with 59 in 1991 to 1992. So it was Pat. You had the first name right, but
right.
I
That was
remember
the
Pat
Sharks'
Falloon.
first season too. Okay, interesting. Well, hopefully he breaks his record with 59 points. It's definitely doable.
Sure has the record though as a rookie with 32 goals.
Right. I knew that. And then Chichu has the overall record with like 51, 52,
Right.
something like that. So I'm hoping him to go break either Smith or Celebration, Mr. Celebration, to go fucking break that record eventually. Not this year, but eventually. Yeah. At least compete for that,
Yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. Again, just having excitement as a Sharks fan. The arena, I still think is a great place to go see a game. I like it. Granted, I'm nostalgic. I got a thing for old stadiums. So,
all right. So next up, we got basketball. Anything interesting happening in basketball world? I haven't been keeping up with it. It's off season. I know it's starting.
So the only thing that I noted, just being a Warriors fan, was Steve Kerr said that all starting jobs are open except for Curry's. So I thought that was
that's the way it should be.
Well, yeah. In one hand, I think with the departure of Klay Thompson and the sort of reshuffling of the locker room, I think Draymond is okay, dude. If Draymond Green is your sixth man coming off the fucking bench, things are okay. That's not a bad situation right there. But they're looking at some of the younger guys to step up, some of the guys they traded for to try to pick up some of the slack, or I guess the lack of offense with Klay Thompson being gone. Right. So I thought that was an interesting statement. And then there was a big trade where the Minnesota Timberwolves traded Karl Anthony Towns, who was the number one pick at some point in time. He's been in the league for a minute. Traded him to the Knicks for Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, who used to play for the Warriors, and a first-round pick. And Julius Randle is like a big, a strong inside-outside presence, and Dante DiVincenzo can shoot the rock from anywhere in the building. So
right,
and a first-round pick, and so that was kind of the big news around here. Everyone, there's a lot. Bronny and LeBron are having fun in camp together. I guess Bronny nailed a 3 over his dad yesterday. Everybody was just like, "What the fuck?" And it was like, "Oh man, great, we're gonna get this all season long." But
all season long until the G League starts, and then he'll probably be bouncing back and forth.
No, dude, I don't think they're gonna send Bronny to the G League. They'll let him sit on the end of the bench.
No, he'll end up in the G League. There's no way.
Not to start, dude. There is too much money to be made.
Once the G League starts, I'm saying, because the G League doesn't start until I think 2 or 3 weeks into the season or something like that.
So what? These dudes just sit out there in purgatory for a little bit and get signed to a team? Like they got to be in a gym somewhere, you'd think.
I'm not 100% sure how it works. I just know that they start the season and then the G League starts a few weeks later. So I think they're practicing. I think they get preseason and practice, but the actual season doesn't start until 2 or 3 weeks into it, if I recall right.
I mean, it starts on November 8th.
Right, and basketball starts in a week or two?
No. Not yet. I mean, they just started camp.
Okay.
'22nd. So yeah, so like a week before.
Okay.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, like a week. So yeah, like I said, maybe he'll definitely start with the Warriors, but I can see him bouncing around just to keep him practicing. Because if he's not playing games, he's going to get rust, and you don't want that, right?
Rust, kid's 18 years old. He's getting rust for.
Dude, you want to keep him on the.
New cars aren't supposed to get rust. I feel like they're going to throw him out there, and he's either going to sink or swim pretty quick.
Right.
Dude,
I can see that too.
Dude, I cannot wait for Draymond or like Dylan Brooks or someone to get in Bronny's ear out there. Like that's gonna be interesting to see. At what point does LeBron like let his kids take his lumps, or is he gonna go all Papa Bear?
We'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, should be there should be some good stuff to watch this year.
All right. Any other sports news besides football?
No, that's all I can think of.
Okay, let's go ahead and go through our picks here since it's halftime in the game. So when I wrote this down, or when I asked you, the Falcons were favored by -2, and we both took the Bucks with the points, and it looks like our bet is paying off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how are you going to go against Kirk Cousins, or how do you go for Kirk Cousins in primetime? Granted, he looked great here, but you're going against Baker Mayfield in primetime, and I feel like Baker Mayfield shines out on Thursday night games when it's like half scramble routines.
He's out there dealing, you know.
So yeah, it's hard to go against. To me, it's hard to go against Baker on Thursday nights. He's such a good quarterback on Thursday nights.
For sure. Riddle me this, dude. Why have I already seen like primetime Kirk Cousins like 3 times already this year? What's up with that?
It's because he's played Kansas City and who else did he play?
No, they opened against the Eagles, and then they were on Sunday night against somebody.
The Chiefs.
Was it the Chiefs? Yeah, it was the Chiefs. Okay.
Yeah.
And now they're on Thursday night.
Right.
Granted, everybody gets a Thursday night game, so.
Right. All right. So next up, we got Jets Vikings, and I'm surprised this is so close. Vikings are favored by only 2.5.
It means the NFL scriptwriters have cooked up something. It means the NFL scriptwriters have cooked up something for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets to do for the European crowd.
Oh, I forgot. This is in Europe. That's probably why.
London. Yeah, dude. I get morning football again here. I'm so excited. I love morning football.
Dude, I have to wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning to fucking see this game. I'm not fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna be on 6:30. Yeah, I don't think it would be on. Right. There were a couple times when I was already awake, had been awake, and the game came on. Oh, sweet fucking football.
Right, been there, done that. We'll see how it goes though. But I don't think I'll be up for that game. I think I'll get up like halfway through it.
I think the Vikings actually cover or win, and by much more than 2.5 points.
Yeah, I think they'll win by 6.
The one thing the Vikings don't have trouble doing is putting up points.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree with you 100%.
Offense is actually pretty ridiculous. So
100% agree. Next up, we got. This is going to be a great game. Barn burner here. Panthers Bears. Bears are favored by 4 points.
Nah, man. The Red Rocket.
Right? Dude, that's what I was about to say.
Nothing would be more entertaining to me than watching Andy Dalton go and just teach Caleb Williams a lesson.
Dude, I love it too. Honestly, the Bears looked like shit against the Rams. Against the Rams didn't look too great, and we'll get more into that later when we talk about the games.
You all lost. You didn't look too great.
I know. Well, we'll get into that. Like I said, we'll get into that as we go talk about the game later on in this podcast. So it sounds like we're both on the Panthers to win this game, or at least cover the spread.
Yeah.
Next up, I think this will be a great game because it's a divisional game. Ravens, Bengals. Ravens are favored by 2.5. I think they cover that spread easily. I think they win by at least a field goal.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Okay. Oops. Next up, we got another divisional matchup. Colts versus Jags. Jags are favored by 3. Now, I think it's not Roethlisberger. Who's their quarterback? Is the Baltimore's old quarterback, Flacco. Flacco's probably going to be the starter. I think that's why they're favored by 3. But I like Flacco. I've always liked Flacco. Flacco's a smart QB. He can still sling it. He knows how to play smart football with the ball. So I'm taking.
He came in and won that game last week. So yeah.
And when he was with the Browns, he was winning games. The Browns even said the only reason he's not with the Browns is because they paid Deshaun Watson $250 million guaranteed, or he would still have the job in the Browns.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If it wasn't for all that guaranteed money. All right, so who do you got? Colts, Jags, 3 points. Favored by the Jags.
I want to say the Colts are going to win, but I feel like it's going to come down to a late kick.
So the Colts are going to win. You're taking the Colts with the points because the Jags are favored by 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go Colts with the points.
Okay.
Well,
next up, all right, yeah. So as Zach goes away here, football's been something that brought me and this guy together, and it's always been a great sport for us to root against each other with. You didn't see as much shit talking the last time the 49ers Rams played, but I guarantee you, as the season comes to an end here, you'll see a lot more shit talking, especially if we both have full roster games. I'm still doing little jabs at him throughout the week to make sure he knows that the Rams beat the Niners the last time they played. So,
you're still talking about that? You're still talking about
fuck yeah.
Still talking about your week 3 Super Bowl?
Our one and only win this year so far has been against the Niners, and I'm still so happy about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, no one's going undefeated, so yeah, that's how that works.
Right. All right, next up we got Bills-Texans. Bills, this game's been flopping back and forth. So at the beginning of the week, the Texans were favored by 1, and now, I don't know, through gambling bets and stuff, the Bills are now favored by 1. But I'm going CJ Stroud, even though I think Bills are a better team. I think Stroud's going to come out. It's in the Texans. If this was in Buffalo, I'll go Buffalo. But since this is going to be in Houston, I'm going Texans personally.
What was the spread?
1 point. So it's a pick'em game.
I'm going to go Buffalo. I think Buffalo goes in there and continues their hot hand of putting up points and beating the shit out of teams.
Right. I mean, they look good until I place a bet on them, and they fucking they cost me.
Then there's the move, James. There's the move.
Right. All right, here we go. We got another barn burner here. Dolphins-Patriots. Another pick'em game. 1 point spread.
I'm going to go with the Pats. I mean, the Dolphins are helpless on offense.
They fucking lost to the Titans.
They're absolutely helpless on offense, dude. Like even when they get Raheem Mostert back, they're going to be stacking 8 in the box. No one is scared of them, of any of their quarterbacks. Yeah, and if what you say about Tua coming back is true, just got a problem with that. I mean,
man. It sounds like every doctor's clearing him to play. He's talked to about his head injuries.
Fuck it, this like any given Sunday. Like what? No, like don't put the man on the field. It is pretty clear that that's a bad idea. But
right, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got 2 more weeks before he can come back. He's eligible, something like that.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Next up is going to be one I'm going to love to watch. It's going to be Browns versus Commanders. I'm going to love the Commanders fucking beating the shit out of the Browns. It's only a 3-point spread. I bet heavily on this fucking game for the Commanders to fucking slap the Browns.
What are they going to do to them, James? What are they going to do?
They're going to slap the dog shit out of those fucking Browns.
Go. All right, they're going to slap the dog shit out of them. Okay. I'm also going to take Washington in this game. Cleveland does not look like the team that they were. They do not look like the team that we were told about. So
right.
Yeah,
dude, I'm loving it though, dude. Daniels, I'm loving watching him play.
Dude, they're a fun team to watch. They really, really are.
Mm-hmm. I always like Cliff Kingsbury's coaching styles. I just think we definitely saw Kyler Murray hold him back.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Cliff Kingsbury is better as an offensive guy, not as a head coach. I think when he can just focus on doing offensive stuff, he's much better and much more in his bag. And I think that he thought head coaching at the NFL level is going to be the same as like being a head coach, in at a big college program, and it's not. And I think he saw that.
Not even close.
He and Dan Quinn are a great pairing. Like Dan Quinn is just all like coach bro, like, but also dials up like a really mean aggressive defense. And Cliff Kingsbury is like just super cool, just with a bunch of offensive weapons they have there.
What if Jamal Adams goes to the Commanders? Dude, would that make him playoffs? Would that make him a Super Bowl winning team?
Jamal Adams stay healthy.
True. Devontae Adams. Sorry, Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams? Oh, okay.
Sorry, I meant to say Devontae.
Yeah, that changes things. If Devontae Adams were to go and join the Washington Commanders, I mean, I think they're a playoff team already, but that would make them that much more dangerous.
I think so too. I'd love to see it personally. I don't want to see Devontae Adams go to a West Coast team. I want him to go to the fucking Jets.
Devontae Adams is either going to the Jets or the Saints.
Right. And so I'm hoping he goes to the Jets personally.
Okay. Yeah, we can get into that.
No. Go ahead. Say
no, I was going to say, like, I think him going to the Saints and putting him on the other side of Chris Olave I think the Saints are a team that's for real too. Like the Saints are playing really, really good football. It's funny when Dennis Allen is coaching for his life, like what all of a sudden he knows how to do it. It's crazy.
Right.
Weird how that works. But I think you put Devontae Adams in there with Derek Carr, with Olave on the other side, and Kamara in the backfield. Like
so dangerous,
dude. There's a fairly with the exception of Carolina, the other three teams in the NFC South are good and they're battling it out as we're seeing tonight.
Yeah, right, dude. It's fucking great. It's great, better than we thought it was. We thought this was going to be the worst division in football, and it's quickly not. Dude.
There's that one outlier, but even then, they finally got their act together a little bit. So
and won a game, right?
yeah, won a game. Yeah, Devontae Adams, if he does force his way out of Vegas, he's going to one of two places.
What, you didn't see that picture of his kidnap picture with the trade me?
That's photoshopped, James. He's not playing with trade me.
Dude, I still loved it though, dude. You fucking loved it too.
I'm gonna Photoshop one where he's holding up a sign of our podcast logo. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
There you go. Next up, honestly, I think this would be a good game to watch. It's going to be Raiders Broncos. These two teams play each other with so much hatred all the fucking time. Oh yeah. So Broncos are favored by 3. I think the Raiders got lucky last week with their win, but I don't think it happens again. I'm taking Broncos at home. It's in Mile High Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Broncos have shown that they can play defense and win games. They don't need Bo Nix to really do anything, and the Raiders aren't really scary on offense at all. So I think that Denver defense is going to do what they did last week and kick a bunch of field goals, and that'll be that.
Right.
So I'm going to go Denver.
Taking the Broncos at 3?
Yep.
All right. Next up, I think this is going to be a slaughter fest because I don't think the Cardinals are who we think they are. I think it's going to be – yeah. Cardinals versus 49ers. 49ers are favored by 7 points. I think with that riding of the ship against the Patriots, you're going to see the Niners start to steamroll again. I think they're all healthy. I think you're going to see a lot more out of the Niners this time around, and I think especially since it's a divisional game. So I think you're just going to see the Niners steamroll. This is another game I bet heavily on. But I have the Niners at +6 or -6 when they first opened. So I'm taking the Niners at even 7.
I have my concerns about this game. This is a classic trap game because right after this, they play Seattle on a short week on a Thursday night. Fred Warner is injured. George Kittle is injured. Neither of them have practiced yet this week. So I think the Niners win, but I think it's going to be closer than it should be. And I may end up regretting saying that if Fred Warner plays or not. If Fred Warner isn't on the field, that the entire complexion of the game changes, especially with Alec Cobb. And it sounds like he's trending towards not playing. I mean, same with Kittle and his ribs. I think if anyone has a better chance of playing between the two of them, it's going to be George Kittle.
I saw a report that he's practicing hard, so I don't know.
Kittle?
No, Warner.
No, neither of them have practiced this week.
Is that? No. I
Yeah.
have to look this up. Look it up. Double check. Make sure.
Up right now.
Fred Warner injury. One day started with let's see here. They might want him healthy for the Seahawks game. Then you might be right.
Warner and Kittle went through conditioning drills but did not practice.
Okay. Who knows though? You never know. A guy like Fred Warner probably will want to tough it out and fucking play.
Fred Warner says he plans to play Sunday, but I plan on you playing Sunday too.
Right. All right. So who do you got? It's 7 points.
Niners.
Niners. All right. Next up, we got the Packers versus the Rams. Packers are favored by 3 points in LA. I'm a diehard Rams fan. I want to take the Rams plus the points, even though I think the Packers will win. But I think at the 3 points, the Rams cover the spread.
I think that the Rams are still suffering from no offensive players like they had last week against a terrible Bears team. This is a much better Packers team. So Bears easily.
Packers, you mean?
Packers, yes, excuse me. Packers easily.
All right, next up, this is going to be another fucking dog walk, another shit show. Giants versus Seattle. Seattle's favored by 6.5. Again, this is another game I bet heavily on the Seahawks. I just took the win. I didn't take the over/under on this one. I just said Seahawks with the win because I don't know.
Yeah,
Giants sometimes they show up with Neighbors and sometimes they don't. I don't know if Neighbors is going to play. If Neighbors doesn't play, then I think
he's questionable. But I don't see. I think much like we just talked about with Kittle and Warner is that he's going to be out there. Like Malik Neighbors needs to play because he wants to get traded off this horrible team at some point in the next couple of years. So Malik Neighbors needs to be out there. He has to be getting some film on him and getting some run. But Seattle by I'll take the points. Seattle points.
By like 10 at least.
I'll take what it's listed at.
All right, Cowboys Steelers. Steelers are favored by 2.5 only. I don't see how that's well. Steelers can't score, but the Cowboys are injured. Like they got hit with the injury bug too.
Right. 2.5.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking the Steelers with the points. I think they'll win by a field goal because their defense is so much better than the Cowboys.
No, and I'm actually going to say that the Cowboys are going to hang around and steal a win.
All right, so you're going to go with the Cowboys there, huh?
I think the Cowboys, dude, I'm sorry, that kicker they got, I'm very impressed by the kicker they have. That's the real fucking deal, dude. Like, I don't often get excited about kickers, but guys got something going. So,
all right. Next up, we got the Saints versus Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 5.5 on Monday night. It's in the Chiefdom.
The Chieftain.
Yeah, dude, this is tough, dude.
No, it's not because you've 2 or 3 of those points at least are because of the officials. So
right,
yeah, it's Mahomes on Monday night. Xavier Worthy's gonna have a big night. All of a sudden, Travis Kelce's gonna be involved in the offense.
Right.
Question is, do the Saints trade for Devontae Adams before then?
Right. Do they land him?
Devontae Adams gets traded this week. I don't think that happens.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm picking the Saints to upset here. At least the cover the spread. I think their defense is good enough to hang in there, and so was their offense. Their offense is enough to go punch for punch. I think.
I'm actually going to agree with you on that. I think the Saints cover for sure. But I think that at the end they're going to get a call that's going to go to the Chiefs' way, and Butker's going to go out there and do a sign of the cross and fucking boot it, and everyone's going to go crazy, and some guy in a Chiefsaholic is going to get paroled from jail, like something. It's
right.
Honestly,
dude, this is going to be like a 60+ ball game, dude. I bet the over on this one too. I think it was at 47. I saw.
Yeah, this one should be a fun one to watch.
Right. All right, you guys have it now. Let you guys know. I just calculated our win percentage just before the show started. I'm at 48%, and Zach's at 42% win rate. So listen to what you want.
Yeah, it's to take everything. Notice how I'm not giving out gambling advice. I'm just picking teams.
Right. You guys can gamble with me. I'm not doing too hot this year, but I've been mainly focused on school and trying to get through my engineering classes. So we'll see how it goes.
You need to engineer some better betting techniques, dude. That's what you got to do.
That's what I plan to do. This class ends next weekend, and so I get a week off of school before the next classes start, and I'm gonna fucking set up something and actually go back to my old book last year and see what I'm doing wrong this year. So we'll see. All right. Next up, you want to go ahead and talk about the Niners game real quick?
Yeah, sure. So the Niners host the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday.
I was going to say the Patriots game. The recap Patriots game.
Oh, the recap of it.
And then you can talk about the Cardinals game.
Whatever you'd like. Niners got back onto their winning ways against a Patriots team that I think is starting to play a lot more these last 2 weeks, like people expected them to. They come out of the gate looking real good against Cincinnati and Seattle. Last 2 weeks, not so much. Jacoby Brissett obviously is not the long-term answer at quarterback, but like how many more?
We all knew that.
How many more games like this? And granted, the offensive line, running backs, wide receivers, no one's doing him any favors.
I don't see him starting a game this year. They're the guy that they drafted.
Drake May? You don't think you see Drake May?
I don't see him starting a game.
Drake May is going to start a game because Jacoby Brissett's going to get hurt because he's a fucking sitting duck back there. And Bosa had 8 pressures. They ended up with a total of 6 sacks. Bosa had a sack, fumble, and fumble recovery. They forced Brissett into some bad throws and led to the Warner pick 6. That actually wasn't a bad throw. Fred Warner, I don't think anybody thought he could jump that high.
Right.
That was a very impressive going up the ladder. And then later in the game, Kittle went up over 3 defenders to go snatch one.
That was awesome. Wow.
Very impressive. Saw that. Both those were, those are your stars making big plays in big moments. That's what they got to do, especially the way the season has been going. Brock Purdy, again, had another super efficient game, leading the league in passing yards right now. Quietly having a very efficient season. You really can't put
that system's quarterback, man. They fucking know how to ball, dude.
You can't. He's the quarterback, so we just there's some blame for both losses.
Right.
But at the same time, like he without all of his weapons at his disposal for pretty much the entire season, he's definitely putting it together, and I think doing everything asked of him and then some.
Definitely.
Now that he's got Debo, hopefully Ayuk getting a little more into the swing of things. Kittle possibly not playing this week. That's not ideal either. But you're going to get another heavy dose of Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason went for another touchdown, 130 yards last week, very quietly, and top 3 in rushing in the NFL. What's the Shanahan zone blocking scheme? Yeah, we've seen it for decades now. What? Our kids are going to be talking about it too, because there's going to be some other Shanahan prodigy out there being like, Grandpa did this and it worked real good. And yeah.
Right. So. Well, it helps when you have a guy like, what's his name? Their left tackle.
Trent Williams
out there fucking being a monster, being able to run around everywhere.
Well, you got Trent Williams out there. Again, I say every time you run to the left side of the Niners line, there's Trent Williams, Kittle, and Juszczyk out there leading the charge. That's trouble. That's bad things happen out there. And then Debo, Ayuk, they're dogs. Jawan Jennings, I think, likes to hit more than he likes to catch. The Niners wide receivers are not afraid to get out there and do some dirty work, and you see it in the results of the run game and the yards after contact and stuff like that. So overall, it was a good win. Unfortunately, not without some injuries. Fred Warner hurt his ankle near the end of the first half, did not play in the second half. Isaac Yiadom is questionable today. Apparently injured his knee in practice the other day. McCaffrey, the news came out about the double Achilles tendonitis. Don't even know what that means. I'm not going to try to speculate on what is going on with him. I don't know. I don't know if they started ramping up his activity level this week. There was really no reports on it, so I don't.
He's on IR, right?
He's on IR, yeah.
So yeah, they still got a couple more weeks before they can even release him off IR, like another game or two.
He'd be eligible to come off after the Seattle game.
Okay.
He's not going to. He's obviously not.
Obviously not. Yeah.
Like there are legitimate questions. Is Christian McCaffrey going to play this year?
Damn.
And I don't know if anybody knows. I don't even know if Christian McCaffrey knows the answer to that. Now, again, the good thing, your team is never better when you're missing the reigning offensive player of the year. The Madden curse, obviously, as real as it gets. It's the only curse that I actually believe in is the Madden curse. Like, because I've seen it my entire life be fucking true, like, way too often for it to be coincidence.
Dude, and do you know what sucks, dude? Like, the Rams and Niners both do this, and then all of a sudden, their running backs have giant knee issues. Like, what the fuck?
Well, this isn't a knee. Like, this is the actual Achilles tendon. And,
right. Achilles, but
you know
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, the whole Todd Gurley thing was, it was unfortunate. Todd Gurley was unstoppable there for, a couple of years, and then he was just done. So,
yeah.
No one knows what the prognosis is for McCaffrey. In the meantime, I do think the Niners could stand to get some more depth in the running back room. Their second-string running back, Isaac Guerrero, he's a rookie out of Louisville, fumbled a punt. Fumbled a kickoff, which led directly to a Patriots touchdown. He didn't touch the ball again for the rest of the day. While Jordan Mason is doing a fantastic job, there's not a lot of depth behind him. So I wouldn't mind the Niners going and finding somebody out there, maybe like a dude on a practice squad, someone who fits the mold. Something like those nice to get a little bit of depth there. But all in all, a good get back win for the Niners. Beautiful day out at the stadium. Everyone had a good time. Get back to 500. Moving into this week against Arizona. Kyler Murray is the type of quarterback that gives the Niners fits because they're so aggressive on defense. He gets out, starts running around, and there's large swaths of the field open because everyone's super aggressive. And that can lead to some broken plays. Marvin Harrison Jr. He's again a real deal wide receiver. He's looking fantastic. Their tight end name escapes me at the moment. Also having a really good season. Which Cardinals team is going to show up?
Right.
And
the one that showed up against the Rams are the one that showed up against like the Lions or whoever they got dog walked by.
Right. Exactly. And I think some of that does come down to coaching. They're not the most talented roster, but they're playing good football. And I thought for a second there that their weirdo coach had it figured out, and then they got beat by 30 the next week. So
right, yeah.
So exactly. That's going to be the thing there. But again, I think the Niners should win this one. Just please, for the love of God, come out of this game fucking healthy. Then got a quick turnaround for Seattle on Thursday night, which that's going to be a tough one.
Right, that's going to be real tough. I'm going to be interested. I'm going to love that Thursday night game. We'll definitely be watching that and talk so much shit.
And we saw what Detroit did to Seattle on Monday night, and I thought that was Detroit again. Very impressive win by them. Detroit really put it on them, and I think showed what they could do. And the Detroit boogeyman of not making the playoffs or being a bad team, like that's gone. Like that team is confident. That crowd is pumped. Like their fans are into it. Like having to go there play the playoffs, dude. Fuck that. Like that's gonna suck. Like that's gonna be.
Dude, the Rams had to do it, dude. It was tough. Yeah. Dude, that was a tough game, and that was a tough ballpark to play in, dude.
Yeah, it is. They're loud, they're passionate. It's really everything you want out of a fan base. So
exactly,
I agree. Good on them. Yeah. So that's the Niners situation. How about the Rams, James? What happened to the Rams on Sunday? Why don't you put that into your name there, you funny guy?
Right, I know. Dude. So you see it. There's no Koopa. There's no Cup, and there's no Nakua. So that's what really hurts this offense. It's so mundane, so boring. Guys aren't getting open. You can't trust. Like people want to see more Atwell. Tutu Atwell. I don't want to see more Tutu Atwell. I want to see him ass on the fucking bench, especially for what he did. All right, I want to go off to this. I wasn't going to go on this rant right off the bat, but let's see here. Out of the 25 fucking run plays the Rams played, Tutu was out there for a lot of them. They had to go to opposite side because when they ran to his side the 9 or 10 times, he missed the blocks. I went through and watched all 22 of him. Now, I did zone in on him. 9 times, he either didn't pick up the block or he asked the block and allowed his blocking player to go in there and affect the run or get close to the run. 9 times on the run play, and then 3 times on the passing play towards when it was on his side of the field, when his player could have been picked up, he let them go. No more. You can't do this in the McVay offense. I'm sorry, you can't. I don't give a fuck how fast you are. You need to be able to pick up a block and actually go out there. You can't go, oh, look, my hands are on him. No, this is the fucking pros. You need to grab the fucking guy, get your ass ran over, and at least get your ass ran over. I don't care. If you're getting your ass ran over, then you're trying.
What, James, like we were just talking about with the Niners, what do their wide receivers do great? Get out there and block.
They block.
No,
and that's the thing.
What?
Right?
And that's well, really, he wouldn't be on the field or probably even on this roster if Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua were healthy.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to see. We see it when when there's Cooper Kupp and Nacua are out there. They're out there blocking hard. I see it out of Jordan Whittington. I see him out of Robinson, and I even see it out of their Johnson, the backup guy that they got. But I don't see it out of Tutu. I'm sorry, I don't see it. There's 1 or 2 plays where I've seen Robinson go out there and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Why aren't you picking up that block?" Like he's sitting there calling him out, and what Tutu Atwell does bring to the table is that, okay, I'm going to send this guy out on motion, and you have to send people out and watch him because he's so quick. Because if you let him get that little toss play off to the edge and he's gone, he's going to break a touchdown.
Well, he's going to get to the second level real quick. Yeah,
real quick, and that's what he does. But he can't block, and I'm sorry, you can't just be out there for your quick screens and shit like that. You got to be able to block in the McVay offense.
That sort of wide receiver no longer exists in the NFL. If you're going to play wide receiver in the NFL, you need to be physical. You need to get out there and block. You don't need to be like an all-world blocker. Like you don't need to block like an offensive lineman, but you got to be able to hold your dude for a count of 3, and engage him and keep him at least neutral, if not driving him back.
And not just, oh, look, my hands are on him. That's literally what it looked like he was doing. He was like, oh, look, I'm rubbing my hands on you. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? So, yeah, fucking clock him a little bit. Like I said, if he gets hit, and I seen him get blocked over and get ran over once or twice, and I give him props for that. But that's what you need to do every time. I'm sorry, you're a little guy out there, but you're going to have to throw your body weight into him a little bit more. I don't want to see him on the field if he's going to keep doing that shit. It's costing him points. Yeah, and it's costing Williams points. So, speaking of Kyron Williams, he can break a record next week for the Rams. A record Eric Dickerson set.
Oh, I know.
The most touchdowns in 16 starts. So, if he gets 1 more, he ties the record. If he gets 2, he breaks the record. He can possibly do that. I mean, he's a touchdown scoring machine. When you get him into the goal line, watch out, because he's turning his feet trying to get to the second level, trying to cut through holes and trying to make it. So, but not without fucking shitty blocking on the wide receivers. He won't make it.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably get that, on like a goal line dive or something like that. But
right.
Yeah, you're right.
He'll get his 1 touchdown.
Yeah, it just goes to show the importance of when you have these linchpins of your offense who do everything. That is the thing that makes Nacua and Cooper Kupp so good, is they do everything. And I'm
seeing it out of Whittington. But like what I told you before, like off the show, is he needs time to develop because he didn't get a chance to play every single snap. He just doesn't have development that he sat behind all the stars in Texas when the Longhorns, so he needs time to develop. So I told you that off the beginning of the season. I love this pickup. He looks great out there. He looks like he's going to be a solid number 3 pick, and he's going to be eventually a number 2 or even eventually a number 1 if something, God forbid, happens to Kupp or Nacua, So that next up is Jared Verse. Dude, he looks phenomenal out there. I mean, the only thing is what's shitty about him is he can't tackle. And apparently someone did a deep dive on him in college, and he's got the same poor tackling skills in college. So that's kind of breaks my heart a little bit. Because he looks so phenomenal back there. He's out in the backfield every time. He's beating his blocks.
He's guessing. His guessing of the snap count is like you can't teach that. He just has that natural instinct, and it just sucks that he gets back there and can't wrap a guy up.
Right. So
You're
I'm
hoping
hoping
at least he's slowing him down so like some other guys can come in and pick it up. But it would be nicer if you could get it done on that first try.
so we'll see with some of these older men running quarterbacks out there. But right now he's going against all these younger guys that can run around and make plays with their feet. Purdy is a fast quarterback. Purdy is faster than most people think. We've both said this a lot. Kyler Murray is a fast quarterback. Jared Goff's a fast quarterback. Jordan Love's going to be a fast quarterback. We'll see how after week 6, though, man. I'm just praying for the Rams to get to this fucking bye week and see what happens after this.
I don't know if they're team that needs the bye week more than the Rams.
Exactly. Next up, I wanted to bring up is Blake Corum. He's not seeing playing time. Even though Michigan has that need where blockers need a block, I don't think he's yet NFL ready blocking. We'll see, though. I don't know what McVay sees and whether it's just a legacy thing. McVay's all about legacy and, proven starters. He's seen it out of Ronnie Rivers and he's seen it out of Kyler Williams. So he needs to step up more in practice. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But we'll see. Hopefully, we probably will see him after week 6 when they come back from the break. And a lot of their starters are going to be back and healthy and ready to play. So we'll see because they're walking with a patched offensive line. You can't start a rookie running back like Kyler Williams out there.
I mean, I don't necessarily see there being a fault in McVay drafting Corum where he did and keeping him, in his back pocket for at some point they're going to need him this year and he's going to be fresh and be ready.
Williams will go down, and unfortunately he'll go down for a few games. Unfortunately, I mean, he has the proven record to do it.
That's what I was going to say. That's what the track record shows.
Right.
So maybe that's what the plan is. Would it kill the guy to get a couple NFL touches? Like get out there and get a little work up a sweat, hit a couple guys. I'm not going to try to second guess McVay on this one. He's pretty good at his job, but I do feel like the Blake Corum is going to shine and get his time in the limelight when the inevitable Kyron Williams injury happens.
Exactly. All right, and then last little rant. Chris Shula is not the weak point in this team. It's the Rams' offensive scoring. I think what Chris Shula is doing with what he has is phenomenal. The Rams are the youngest defensive in the backfield and the least amount paid in the NFL. They don't have any high player stars in them. They got Cam Curl and Darius Williams is going to be coming back. Other than that, it's a bunch of rookies and a bunch of no-name players. I can barely name you half the fucking guys on the Rams roster on their defensive side, besides the stars that they drafted in the last handful of years. So I think he's doing phenomenal with what he has. Again, I do think I see a different Rams team coming after this break when they get Darius Williams back and someone else is. And their two top cornerbacks are hurt right now and they're on IR. Once they come back after week 6, Darius Williams might see him in Green Bay against the Green Bay, but we don't know. This is his first week he's eligible to come back for practice, so I don't know what's going on. He's out there practicing, but I don't know if he's going to be able to play against the Packers or not. And if he's not, then it's going to be a week 6 thing or week 7 when they come and play the Raiders. The Rams are going to be healthy, and I'm hoping it's a get-right game and they start rattling off a bunch of wins. If not, who knows what they're going to do for the draft pick. They have a first-round draft pick at least.
Right, so, 2 years ago. It's unheard of, Oh my God.
Yeah, right. Unless they say, fuck them picks, and they get Devontae Adams to somehow come with the Rams. Dude, just think how scary that would be. Nakua, Cooper Kupp, and Devontae as a wide receiver trio.
But you're going to give up picks for a partial season rental? Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not the first time the Rams have done it.
Right, but it took 2 years to recover from that.
Fuck them picks, bro. Let's go win a Super Bowl.
Fuck them picks. Yeah. You fuck them picks and it still took Aaron Donald to do the deed. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Other than that, I don't got much on the Green Bay game. Everybody's fucking hurt on the offense. I just want Jared Verse to start tackling. It's going to be an interesting game to watch. I just hope we can get more touch. Someone other than Kyron Williams can score a fucking touchdown. That'd be nice. And that if they do that, then they could win. The Rams can win. They got a chance to win the game. Honestly, They do. If someone else can go out there and rattle off 2 touchdowns besides Kyron Williams, they got a chance to win this fucking game.
they'll be in it. The Green Bay offense has shown even with either it be Malik Willis or like a one-legged Jordan Love, is they can score points in bunches.
Right.
So that's going to be the question, and that's going to be the hard part, I think, for the Rams, is with
how that defense stops them.
Well, how that defense stops them, and then also you don't have your stars to go to answer back, and to being scored on in bunches. So that's I think going to be the hard part. But but like you said, if they can get someone such Kyron Williams to contribute offensively, and they can hang around.
You can't get inside the 30, kick 4 fucking field goals, and miss 3 of them and expect to win the fucking game. I'm sorry. You got to go down and score touchdowns. You can't win a game, even against the shitty-ass Bears, with kicking field goals and only scoring 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you got to be able to score. And you're going to have to convert 3rd and 4th downs. You're going to have to, have the football gods, have a couple bounces go your way. That's where it's at right now. And
Stafford and Williams were doing that against the Bears. Stafford was throwing people open unless you were wide open. And the only time people were wide open, it was Tutu Atwell because he got a speed and break in, and he finally threw it to him. But other than that, he's not throwing it to Atwell when he's not wide open because he's going to fucking drop the ball. So, but Stafford can throw you open, and he's shown that he could do that. He did that against the Bears. He went 20 for 29 for 254 yards, 1 interception or 2 interceptions. But that's because, it's going to happen when you're trying to throw people open.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to throw to windows to guys who don't necessarily know how to get to those windows.
Right. And if you're getting hit in the face and the referees aren't calling it, then there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So guys are landing on you and not fucking bracing themselves before they hit you. I don't see why they're not calling it this year for Stafford, but who knows? I don't want to be a Raiders fan and complain about the rest. You got to go out there and win.
No, the officiating this year, it's not good. It hasn't been good. Easy stuff's getting missed. Ticky-tack stuff is getting called. Like, there was a drive last week where Brock Purdy threw 3 touchdowns and 2 of them got called back. And it was just like...
I saw that. It's like, what the fuck?
It's just like, come on, man. Like, what the fuck? Like,
against the Patriots, come on. We all know the Patriots don't got a shot in hell to be doing
it really felt like for a little bit there, the refs were trying to keep it close. And it's just like, just stop it. It's not close.
Right.
Just stop it, guys.
Yeah. That's what it felt like against the fucking Rams versus Bears. They're like the refs were trying to keep the Bears in it the whole time.
I would like to see in maybe the next CBA, and I don't know how much of the officials are a part of the CBA agreement that they have, but make these guys full time. Come on, there's enough money. There's more than enough money.
Yeah, and
make them
it needs to be done.
Give it its own structure inside the NFL. Hire some old officials to run it. Get them a big office building. Get them admin. Get them everything they need. There's plenty of money out there. Make these guys full time.
Exactly. So, to wrap things up here, we like to do feel-good stories because that's what we feel like, what we like about sports. It gets us out of our dreary days. Even if our team's losing, watching sports is still better than, the reality of life sometimes.
Sometimes my team makes me question existence, but yeah.
right. Exactly. So I'm gonna go off one of my soccer playing days when I played soccer. I used to not be too bad at soccer player.
He played women's
you wish.
Women's club soccer. Sorry, I'll shut up.
There was a time I played against a couple of chicks, and I fucking actually beamed one in the face. I was like, "All right, you're either gonna duck or you're gonna get hit." Because I was beating guys in the face.
Dude, and let's not forget, dude. I'm sure there are a couple of women out there that put you in a fucking blender out there.
Oh yeah, once or twice, yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're not leaving anything out.
Yeah, once or twice, but I was a defender, and I got beat once or twice by a girl. Only once or twice. But after that, I didn't let it again. But what I was going to say was this story is I got notified that scouts were going to be there because this guy was really good and fucking balls. It was my best fucking game of my fucking life I ever played. I was ready to hang up the cleats after showing this guy up. I made him look like shit. Like his dad was yelling at me so much that they had to call the cops out because he was threatening me. Because
I love those games. I love those games.
I was making his son. I think I cost this kid a scholarship at these guys because they came up to me to try to recruit me afterwards. But I told him, man, I like, dude, I'm ready to go stop playing sports. I'm going to go into the military at the time. I thought I was going to go be a Marine, this and that.
I'm going to go party and fuck chicks.
Dude, I remember a couple times during the game, like, kind of in soccer, you kind of give them some people the fucking nut slap and everything. Like, this guy was trying to do everything to make me get a yellow card against him. And there's a couple times where I made him just like so foolish by like tumbling over the ball, checking him into the side, like not calling not a penalty because I was going for the ball and I beat him to the ball. And I was able to throw my little body over his body. Dude, it was a great fucking matchup. I remember like at the end of the game, I was ready to go be the front man in the line to go shake this guy's hand because Yeah. No. My teammates grabbed me to the back of the line to go stand by the coach because apparently all the other guys were taking shots at me. I didn't even notice because this guy was playing me so aggressive that I couldn't.
Right.
Like
I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wasn't aware of it. Like I got the opportunity to follow this guy because I was doing so well on the other side of the field, and they're like, "Nope, James, you're just gonna go track him now."
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I tracked him. We won the game like 2-0. So, and this guy was scoring like 4 or 5 goals a game.
Shut him out.
Yeah, we shut him out. And like I said, I made this guy look bad. So apparently people were threatening me, even like the players. I was not listening to the other guys. I was solely focused on him. So I had to go to the back of the line. We shook hands at the end, man. Like I told him, dude, like I hugged him. I was like, dude, I am the most exhausted I've ever played. Dude, you are the best player I've ever played against. Dude, I told him you were going to go places, man. Just hang in there, man. Like, I'm better than what's supposed to be seen, but dude, just keep it hanging in there, man, dude. Like I walked away limping after that game. So
should have hung him up then. Be like, I'm just never gonna be this good.
I pretty much did. I don't think I ever played. I played a couple more soccer games after that, but that was it. I finished that season and I was done. That was my highlight of soccer.
It's good, dude. Right on. That's a good one.
Right. So please send us your stories. We'll send you the link for our email in the description. We want to hear you guys' stories. We want to read them out here. We'll tell a couple. We'll build up. We'll read some of the emails from you guys send us, and we'll show your stories on here. That's what we're here for. Is for good sports stories and good matchups and good shit talking. You'll hear plenty of it when the next Niners-Rams game is. Plenty of it, but like I said earlier in the podcast,
any week there will be shit talking going on. If there's one thing about this podcast I can guarantee is going to happen is
right.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shit talking going on. By the way, we are on Instagram, Twitter, because I refuse to call it X, Spotify, YouTube. We're on all the social medias. Look us up, Best Coast Podcast. Give it a listen. Leave some comments, like, follow, curse, whatever you guys are up to. Let us know how we're doing.
All right. Yeah. You got anything else besides the followers tonight? Or that's it?
Oh, that's all I got.
Okay. Well, you guys, we're going to sign off here. And remember, the easiest way to make money against you on the internet is to scare you guys. So, you guys have a good night.